hundreds of years before the Spanish came, the Tohono O'odham divided their time between their winter villages and their summer villages, searching for food. They were originally a wandering desert people. They got about 75% of their food from wild sources, mostly desert plants and animals such as deer, rabbit, elk, and birds. They based their 13-month lunar calendar on desert cycles. The year begins in June, with the ripening and harvest of cactus fruits. Other months designate the time the rain begins, July, the coldest months, December, the time the animals mate, January and February, and the time the flowers bloom, April. One such food they harvest is the prickly pear plant. They found many uses for the plant, such as healing medicines for rheumatism, diarrhea, asthma, just to name a few, oils from flowers to make perfume, cactus gum for stiffening cloth, nopalitos or paddles to cut up for pickling, nopalito con huevos, colorados, and more. Cochineal, a scaled insect that produces a white cottony covering that grows on the nopalito, when harvested produces the most vibrant red dye in the world, and in the 1600s was only second to silver in exports to Europe. And finally the fruit, or tuna as they call it. To get started, you will need leather gloves, a bucket, and a pair of metal tongs. You don't want to use rubber-coated tongs because the glochids, the fine, tiny barbed spines that cover the tuna, will stick in the rubber and be very difficult to remove, just like from your fingers if you don't wear gloves. But before you go to harvest your prickly pear plant, you want to find a plant called the desert broom and cut off a small branch. This branch will be used to brush the fruit to knock off many nearly invisible glochids. The desert bloom appears to work best, and the Tohono O'odham should know they have been doing this for hundreds of years. After brushing the fruit, it's ready to pick. What you are looking for is the fruit to be a little soft, not mushy, and the base of the tuna to have turned from green to maroon. As far as the nopalitos are concerned, you want to pick the new, younger paddles. They're tastier. Upon returning, you will triple bathe the fruit. We set up 3 buckets of water and move the fruit from one to the next, individually dunking the fruit a few times in each bucket. Once back in your kitchen, you have 3 basic ways to prepare the fruit. You can use a blender, boil them, or freeze them. I found freezing to work the best because it breaks down the cell walls of the fruit and makes it easier to mash in the colander, and it appears to produce more juice. After mashing gently in the colander and collecting the juice in a bowl, you want to strain the juice through a piece of cheesecloth to remove any skin, pulp, or glochids that may have gotten through the colander. From the juice, you can drink it, though it is a bit tart, or make a variety of products like jam, sauce, marmalade, ice cream. I made a sorbet out of my first batch, and it was pretty good. I'm sure there are many other ways to use the juice. There are many Native American cookbooks with interesting recipes, and of course there's Google. To harvest the nopalitos, you want to brush them first with a desert broom switch, then grab the paddle with your tongs and place your sharp knife point into the middle where the nopalito is connected to the plant. Wiggle it around a bit and it will separate from the plant. You don't want to cut it by starting at one side and slicing through the other. Why? I don't know, but that's how the instructor demonstrated it to us. Then, with a sharp knife, pluck off the glochids. Once all the glochids are removed, slice them like French fries. You can eat it raw like I did and consumed most of an entire pad while listening to the instructor. They taste a little bit like green beans. Or boil the strips, or saute them, and use them in a variety of dishes. My next challenge will be to make ice cream. After that, I will search the internet for more dishes to try. After all, they are right here in our backyard.